I'm sorry if there's weird streaky lines on me. I am afraid I can't quite help it. So let's get into today's video. Hello, my name is Hannah if we haven't met before, and hi if we have met before, my name is still Hannah, and it's still good to see you. I am doing my July TBR, which is crazy town. I'm just gonna use my handy dandy TBR jar to pick this month's read. I do 6 books. Surprise, surprise. Why did I sing that? I have no reason to be singing right now. Anyway, I'm going to pick 6 books, and one of them will be our book club book over on Patreon, so you can look forward to that. And fun fact, I in fact have not picked the book club book prior to filming this video, which every other time for the last couple years, I have in fact picked the book in advance. But today, I think I want my book club book to come from my shelf because I often end up doing a new release, which is awesome. However, I kind of want to, I don't know, branch out and just get some more off of my TBR shelf. I was putting away books from last month that I read, and I realized that I'm kind of running out of room on my shelf, which is both amazing and terrifying. So I think I'm gonna have to expand my bookshelf collection. And there's room in this room to do it, but I think I'm gonna have to put like a waist-height shelf probably along this wall, which you can't see, but I have a little wall right here. Anyway, the sunlight streaking across my arm is gonna bother me though. I do fear that that will be annoying. Oh well. Let's kick us off. 6 prompts. Finish a series. It's crazy that I pulled this because there was a book that I was literally thinking about, and I know exactly what I'm gonna pick. Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is the 3rd and final book in the Powerless trilogy. Now, Powerless, the first book, I believe I gave either 3.5 or 4 stars. I really liked it. I didn't love it. And a lot of that comes from the fact that I read Red Queen, which she openly admits was like a huge inspiration for her. However, I think I read Red Queen for the first time, that whole series, way too close to when I read Powerless, not realizing that's where she took inspiration until later. And it just was too similar that I didn't find myself loving it. But I really like her writing style in the sense that it's really gripping. And then book 2 was Reckless, and I really enjoyed book 2. However, it was constant chasing cat and mouse, will they, won't they, and I got exhausted. I was tired of them constantly being in and out of danger, chasing, running all over the countryside. And then I felt like the last 30 pages was just like, and amazing. The last 30 pages set us up. So that was really like a bridge book that was to bridge the first book to now the 3rd book. So I am excited because I think the 3rd book will be a little more in line with the first one in terms of like ongoing plot and world development. The 2nd book just didn't really hit for me. So I think I'm really looking forward to this, and I want to just finish this trilogy. I want it to be done so I can have them all just up side by side in their little bookshelves. And if I'm being honest with you, I also read the Powerful novella that was written about one of the characters from the first book, about her backstory. So it's like a little side by side, which I really liked. So that one I highly recommend. I think that was actually my favorite, and I don't have it on my shelf because I got it from the library, but I do recommend that one. And I really want to finish this book and this series. So welcome to the family. Prompt number 2, a thriller. Ooh, I don't have a ton on my shelf, but I do have from the library right now A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't know if this is considered a thriller or just a little bit of a murder mystery, but I'm going to put it in that category because I'm not a huge thriller reader anyway, and I have this book from the library. It's already a little bit out of my comfort zone. It has a lot of good reviews, and I think it'll be kind of a fun summery read, which sounds silly, but I love something a little bit girly, and I know that it has a show connected to it that they've made, and I am a sucker for a new TV show. I haven't had a good one in a while. Like literally a couple days ago, I asked people for a new show to watch, and no one said that one, but I think if I read the book and then go into that show, I'll be having a good time. So, Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's on hold at the library for me right now. I just have to go pick it up. Number 3, a New York Times bestseller. Okay, I feel like kind of a broken record at this point. The Ministry of Time by Callie Ann Bradley. This was her debut novel. A little bit of romance, sci-fi, and I really want to read it. If you don't know the premise of this, there's the Ministry of Time. It's a place where our main protagonist works, and it's her job to acclimate someone from the past to living in this modern future era and how to live his life there, basically. She's training him on how to blend in. So I think that's a really interesting thing. I've heard Such beautiful, beautiful writing. Oh my gosh, this font is lovely. Like, there's not that many words on a page. I think I'm gonna fly through this. I'm a broken record at this point. I think I've had this on my TBR like 4 times in the last year, but I really want to get to it. And I actually think, oh, LOL. I was like, I wonder if it's New York Times bestseller. Right there. Right there it says New York Times bestseller. So fits the bill. I cannot talk today, my friends. I can't talk today. I really can't. But welcome to the family. Okay, 3 more. How exciting. I only got 3 more. How thrilling. Out of your comfort zone. Ooh, I already have a thriller, which is usually kind of out of my comfort zone. And believe it or not, I think a romance is kind of out of my comfort zone. So maybe I'll go for a romance. Let's see. Actually, I lied. I am going with Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies because I'm told that this is the ultimate cozy fantasy book. And cozy fantasy books are really, truly hit or miss for me. I either am so in love with it and so in the world and it's the perfect vibe and it's a page turner and it's moving along swimmingly, or I'm so bored because it's like, la 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 la, flowers, la 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 la, fairies. And it's like boring to me. Sorry. That's like, sorry, but it's true. So I've heard a lot of good things about this one, actually. And again, I think I'm just going to fly through it. And I'm hoping this gets me back on the track of loving cozy fantasy. So this is out of my comfort zone because truly I haven't read that many cozy fantasy because I'm scared that they're going to bore me to tears. I think I've read probably 3 or 4 in my life and 3 of them were total misses and 1 was a hit. So let's see where this takes me, shall we? I'm on a different wavelength right now. Okay. La 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 la, la 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 la. I'm gonna get copyright just for being such a good singer. 2025 new release. This is so much power. This is so much power. Oh, I know. I've got 2 on my radar for this month, and I think I'm going to go with the first one, which is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. It's part of her new series, The Stonewater Kingdom, which I think is also going to be a duology. She wrote One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns, which was a gothic fantasy duology that I loved, and those I think came out end of 2023 and then 2024, question mark? Don't hold me to that. But this new duology, the first book just came out like, I want to say in April or May. So I really want to get to that book. The other book I thought of was Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings, which is her new release that's coming out literally this month at some point. But because it's coming out this month, I don't want to give myself like a rush to pick it up and read it before the end of the month and yada yada. I don't think I want to do that. So I think I'm going to go with The Night and the Moth. And you know what? Drum roll, please. I think I want that to be our book club book for the month. So if you're interested in reading The Night and the Moth, you can head on over to my Patreon to join our book club. More info about the plot, summary, and things over there. But a basic thing is it's a romantic fantasy book. It centers on our main character is called a diviner, so her dreams are prophetic, and she has served her time at a cathedral. Close to the end of the time of her serving at this cathedral, a knight comes along, and unbeknownst to her, he's kind of rude, roguish kind of situation, doesn't believe in her dreams being prophetic, yada, yada, yada. But all of a sudden, she notices that other diviners who were at the cathedral have turned up missing or gone missing. And so she needs to try to solve the mystery, figure out what's going on. And I think she enlists his help to figure out why everyone's going missing. Again, a romantasy, we love it. I think it's also high fantasy, so it might be a little bit more intense if you haven't read a fantasy before. But if there's one thing I know about Rachel Gillig, is that she's going to build a world that is unique, that is engaging, that is entertaining, that is thought-provoking and beautiful. I have really high hopes for this, like 5-star prediction. I'm really excited. So, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. Okay, last book. A book you think will be 5 stars. I literally just said. But I think I have a curveball here for you guys, actually. So let me pull out a curveball. Shocker. I am picking Beach Read by Emily Henry, which is a romance. I don't read a lot of romance. And it's Emily Henry, whose books I think I've given 1 5-star to. I think Funny Story was 5-star for me. It was. Funny Story was 5 stars for me. Her other books are in the 4-star range, so I always have a good time, really enjoy them. But again, I don't crave or reach for a fantasy, or I do crave. I don't always reach for a romance, but in this case, I'm reaching for this romance, Beach Read by Emily Henry. I think this is going to be 5 stars just because it is a little enemies to lover. They're rivals. They're 2 authors. One writes romance, one writes history thriller, gothic thriller. You get the point. 2 writers in a writing slump. One, I believe, writes romance. The other one writes thrillers or horrors. And they both just happen to be on like a writing trip in neighboring beach houses. And they decide to write in each other's style as like a writing challenge to kind of get them out of their slump. I think it's kind of like they don't get along. They don't see eye to eye. They're just not really interested in what's going on with the other person. And through this, I think they fall in love. So I think it's a little bit of enemies to lovers. I hate how much sun is hitting me right now. I hate it, but I can't control it. It's fine. Okay. So yeah, Beach Read by Emily Henry. I think I'm gonna love this. What? What a weird stack of books. I mean, respectfully, but it's weird. So, to recap, this month I will be reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, Beach Read by Emily Henry, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, The Ministry of Time by Callie Ann Bradley, and Fearless by Lauren Roberts. What a gorgeous stack. And I think it's a good mix. Like, I have a new release in there, I have a rather old one, there's a thriller, there's a couple fantasy, there's a little sci-fi, cozy fantasy, romance. This is honestly a very diverse TBR, so I'm pretty proud of that. Thank you for watching today's video. Until next time, I will see you. I love you so much.